Hello everyone, this is Professor Xun Bian. In this video tutorial, I want to show you how to calculate the present value of a single lump sum using the TIBA2 plus financial calculator. So the problem we're going to be using for this tutorial is this one here. We ask the question, how much money must you deposit into a savings account which pays 5% a year for you to have $5,000 in 15 years? Something that I always do when I try to solve a finance problem is I construct what I call the investment timeline. In this case, the investment timeline for this particular problem is very simple. You're getting $5,000 in 15 years. So here, what we want to do is we try to solve for the present value of that. So what I will do is, first of all, I will walk you through the key entries that you will use to solve this problem. And I will explain to you why you have to, do what you're doing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my own financial calculator. You will see that on the screen. So we will work through this problem together. So if you have your calculator by your side, you're welcome to do the calculation, at the same time when I'm doing that on my calculator. But first of all, let me explain the key entries that you will use. All right. So the first thing that you always have to do is you want to clear the memory of the financial calculator before you jump into a new calculation, right? Not only for this calculation, you actually have to clear the memory for any calculation that you do. It's always a good idea to do that because you may have performed some other calculations prior to this one. You may have entered, data into your calculators already just to ensure that those old stuff don't come in and mess up your new calculation. You want to do second, reset, and enter, right, to clear out the memory of the financial calculator. And then for you to solve for the present value here, you just have to one by one enter into the calculator the information that's available to us. So first of all, what I want to do is I want to enter 15 for N because the investment timeline here is 15 years, right? So 15 for N is our investment timeline. And then you enter 5 for IY, right? So for this type of calculator, IY is your interest rate. So you put in 5 for 5%. One thing to take a note here is if you're using the TIBA2 plus, right, any number that you put into as IY, the calculator automatically assumes that's a percentage number. So you don't do 0.05, you don't do 5%. In fact, if you do that, you're going to get the wrong answer. What you do is you do 5 for 5%, so 5 for IY here. And then what you do is you put in the $5,000 you're getting into the future as the future value. All right, and then what you can do is you can go ahead and solve for the present value. To do that, you hit CPT PV. CPT stands for compute, right? Now you're telling the financial calculator, hey, go ahead and calculate the present value. So if you do that on the screen, you should see the correct answer, which should be $2,405.09. All right, so that's how you run through the calculation. Those are the key entries that I'll be using. So like I said, what I want to do is I want to bring in my financial calculator here. All right, so we can actually work through this problem together. And I probably have already cleared the memory already, but let me do that again. To do that, to clear out the memory of your financial calculator, what you do is you do second, reset, and enter. Right, so once you have done that on the screen, you should see RST, right, 000, right? That basically means that you have cleared out of the memory. And then now what you can do is you can, like I said, one by one enter the parameters that's given to us. So 15 for N, 5 for IY, and then we're trying to solve for present value. So here we have to enter the future value here. So right, 5,000 for future value. Then you can go ahead, CPT, present value, and this is how you get the present value of $5,000 that you're getting in 15 years if you have an interest rate of 5%. All right. So for this calculation, the way that we do the calculation assumes that you have what we call annual compounding. Basically, what that means is you get to roll the interest that you earned in a particular year into the principal at the end of the year. So next year you can start earning interest on interest. That is what we call the annual compounding. In some other situation, you may allow to do that on a monthly basis, right? So we're still looking at sort of the same savings account, but in this case, you're still earning a 5% interest per year, but you get to do what we call monthly compounding, right? If that is the case, then your calculation will be a little different, which I will show you in a minute. But in this case, basically, you get to roll the interest that you earned in a particular month immediately into the principal at the end of the month. So in this case, you get to earn interest on top of interest a little quicker. All right, so if you have what we call monthly compounding, like I said, your calculation will be a little different. I want to walk you through an example when you have monthly compounding. So in this case, again, what you have to do is you have to clear the memory again, right? You always have to do that. And then what you have to do is you have to set what we call payment per year, right? Previously, you have 1 year, right? You're doing your calculation on a yearly basis, so payment per year is default. The default value of that is basically 1. But here, what you want to do is you want to set that to be 12. For you, this is basically our way of telling the financial calculator, we're doing this on a monthly basis. To set the P/Y, right, what you do is you do second, P/Y, and then 12, and then enter. All right, so you're telling the calculator we're running our calculation on a monthly basis. And then what you do is you do second and quit, because after you set the P/Y, you want to go back to your calculation. You do that by second and quit. And then you just basically, again, one by one, enter the parameters into your calculator, and then you run the present value calculation. But one thing that you have to be very careful here is because we have monthly compounding, the calculation will be done on a monthly basis. You can no longer use 15 because we have 15 years. You actually have to tell the calculator how many months that we have, right? Essentially, what you want to do is you want to take 15 years times, right, whatever number you set for P/Y, which happens to be 12 in this case, right? You're telling the calculator, in this case, we're looking at a 180 month, right? To do that, you do, 15 second, there is what I call the times P/Y, right? Whatever the frequency that you set for the P/Y, in this case is 12, you want to multiply that by the 15, right? So in this case, we're looking at 180 months. You set that and you put that into the calculator as N, right? So the investment timeline is 180 months. And then what you do is you enter your interest rate as 5% per year. Here you still use the annual interest rate. You don't have to make adjustment on that. And then you enter the $5,000 future value. Then you can go ahead and calculate the present value. As you can see, the answer here will be slightly different. It's actually going to be a little lower because you get to do monthly compounding. So as opposed to annual compounding, you get to start earning interest on interest a little quicker. So of course, you can afford to put a little less money, a little bit less, than what you would have to put into the account in order for you to get $5,000 in 15 years. But again, let's actually do this using my financial calculator here, right? When you have monthly compounding, always, right? This is actually applies to every calculation that we do. You want to do second, reset, and enter. But in this case, we do want to set the P/Y, right? Payment per period. As you can see, if you look at the IY button, the I/Y button, the P/Y button is right here. So to access that, you want to do second, this one right here, right? The default value, as I said, is 1. But for us to do monthly compounding, we have to set this number to be 12. Okay, so 12, and then enter. All right, and now we want to go back to the calculation, right? We want to do second and quit. Now you're ready to do your calculation. So again, this is just, again, my habit. You don't have to follow this order, but I usually go from the very left-hand side to the right-hand side. So the first thing I want to enter here is N, right? And I have 15 years, but because I have monthly compounding, my calculation will be done on a monthly basis. What I want to do is I want to take 15, right? Notice here there is the times P/Y button, right? We enter 12 for P/Y. So what I want to do is I want to do second times, I want to do second and this one here, right? So second and the times P/Y, right? So this is multiplying the 15 years by the 12 months that you have per year. So you have 180 months. And then what you do is you take this one, put that in as your N. And then after that, everything is the same as what we have done before, right? 5 for the interest rate, 5,000 for FV, and then you can go ahead and calculate the present value. So 5 for IY, 5,000 for FV, then go ahead and calculate the present value. And this is how you solve for the present value of $5,000 in 15 years, right? With an interest rate of 5% a year, but you have monthly compounding. All right. So this is actually what I call the user's menu way, or the standard way for you to take into consideration monthly compounding, right? This is actually a little too cumbersome from my perspective. Personally, I don't use this method, but I do want to show you this because this is, like I said, this is kind of the standard way. If you read the user's menu, this is basically what they do, right? But in reality, when I actually have to do this kind of calculation, my preferred way, which I will show you in a minute, is to do a manual adjustment on the interest rate, to do a manual adjustment on the N. Here, you have to do the manual adjustment on the N anyway, right? But instead of setting the P/Y, what I simply want to do here is I don't bother with the P/Y. I can just do a manual adjustment on the interest rate, right? Instead of using 5% a year, I take 5 divided by 12, whatever that is. That's going to be my monthly interest rate. So as long as you use that, it's going to give you the same answer here. So just to show you that, right, we're looking at the same question, right? And I want to show you the way that I use to actually handle monthly compounding. You can use the same method if you have a quarterly compounding. You just have to make the adjustment, right, using quarterly interest rate and how many quarters that you have in a year. So what I would do, which like I said is going to give you the same answer, is as always, you have to clear the memory. And then what do you do for N? You just manually do 15 times 12, right? You have to do that anyway. So in this case, you are having 180 months. And then, right, this is a little different than the standard way. What I do here is I do 5 divided by 12. This is basically my monthly interest rate, right? So essentially, just by making those manual adjustments, I'm telling the financial calculator everything should be done on a monthly basis, right? How many months that I have and what's my monthly interest rate. And then you can go ahead and put in the $5,000 as the future value. And then you can go ahead and calculate the present value. So as long as you did an adjustment here on the N, and then you did adjustment on the IY, then you can avoid going through setting the P/Y process that we talked about, like a minute ago. And then if you run the calculation here, right, obviously you're getting the same number. So this is actually my preferred way of handling, non-annual compounding. In this case, it's monthly compounding. So let me actually show you that, right? So if you use my way here, you would do second, reset, and enter, right? And then for N, what you want to do is you want to do 15 times 12, right? Hit equal sign here. So on the screen, you should see 180. You put that in as you put that 180 in as your N. And then for interest rate, right? Instead of doing 5 for IY, I want to do 5 divided by 12, right? And hit the equal sign, right? This is basically, 0.42. That's my monthly interest rate. Then I put that in as my IY. And then I put in 5,000 for FV, then I can go ahead and calculate my present value. So obviously here you're getting exactly the same answer, but like I said, choose whichever way that you feel more comfortable, right? If you feel more comfortable with setting the P/Y, right, use the standard user's menu way, that's fine, right? But here I just want to give you an extra way that you can actually get the same answer. So this is actually the end of this tutorial. So thanks for watching. Feel free to send me any questions that you have, and I'll be happy to help you out. All right, so I'll see you in another video tutorial.